Hello everybody, it's your girl Gingy and welcome to my channel Ginger Books, or welcome back if you're a continuing watcher or subscriber. And of course, if you've been watching my videos for a while and have not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, that bell notification so you are notified when I do post. I post fun bookish content under Ginger Books like this, as well as fun Sims content under Ginger Snaps Gaming 19 if you want to go check that out every Tuesdays and Thursdays. Of course, I'm not doing a wrap-up video just because I only read one book, so I decided let's do a review or a book talk, that I used to call it in the past, of this book. And of course that is The House of Earth and Blood, Crescent City Book 1 by Sarah J. Maas. And, oh wait, was this book took me for a ride. Took me for a ride. So the synopsis of this story is that we follow a half-fae, half-human by the name of Bryce Quinton. In this setting, it's a little different. We are like literally fast forwarding all the way into the future to like 15,000, maybe almost close to 16,000 in the future. And Sarah J. Maas did create a little kind of year standard, but I do not remember it, so I do apologize. If somebody knows, put it down below. But we follow Bryce Quinton as she is living in Crescent City, which is the big kind of metropolis city in the kind of city state they're living in, and I'll put a map right here of that. And we start off with her pretty much meeting her best friend, who is a werewolf by the name of Danica, who is kind of really big and kind of famous in Crescent City. She is possibly going to be the next prime of all werewolves, which has kind of created a very love-hate and distant relationship with her mother. And we also meet her pack of wolves, which is called the Pack of Devils. But of course, these characters immediately get ripped away from us, as sadly they end up. Then we fast forward 2 years later, and that's how we end up with Bryce and how she has been coping with things, as well as introducing Hunt, who is a fallen angel who used to be that rebelled against the Austeri, and I hope I'm pronouncing these words right, and ended up becoming a slave because of that, and is owned by the governor, Micah, of Crescent City. And that's where their adventures start, as they're trying to find a fae artifact that was stolen, as well as, sorry, I just lost my train of thought, as well as why these mysterious murders have been happening and who's been summoning these little pit demons. Now, of course, my review on this, and I will have to say it was definitely a 5 out of 5 stars. I feel like Sarah J. Maas has outdone herself yet again, and I love this book a lot more than I did A Court of Thorns and Roses and Throne of Glass. Like, she has topped it on her first book of a series, and I absolutely loved it. So, of course, let's get into the likes and dislikes of this book. So, what made it a 5 out of 5 stars for me is this 4 criteria in the like category. And that is, one of them was weaving of information. I feel like the information dump that you get at the beginning, you're totally confused. It's like the first 200 to 300 pages of the book, and I can see why some people were turned away from it because it just did not make sense. However, it does make sense, and it is needed of why this was an information dump, because all of that information starts to weave into the plot, and it makes for really good plot twists and reveals, because you think it's going one way, but then it reveals to be another, and something that you would probably never have thought of. So if you go back to that information and how it's kind of woven in, you can see where some of the foreshadowing moments were, and it's great. Oh, disclaimer, before we continue even more, I will be giving examples of scenes from the book, so if you do not want to be spoiled, I suggest clicking off this video and going to read the book and then clicking on this video, continuing to watch this video. If not, you have been forewarned. Just saying. So the next one that I really liked was the dynamic of the characters. It was definitely different than I am used to with these characters. I felt like these, besides A Court of Silver Flame, these characters really felt like they could stand their own. Like, they could literally have their own books. That's how well these characters were done. Nothing was 2D, to be honest. Everybody had their, personality and their own little backstories, but not giving too much away, just because it's just, you don't want to know everything about a character, especially since this is a first book. And if they're going to continue to pop up throughout the whole, I hope this is a series, pop up throughout the whole entire series, you don't want to give them away just yet, especially if they play a vital role later on. And one of the dynamics is definitely between Bryce and Hunt. This was, I would have to say, compared to let's say, Resend and Feyre, this was definitely like an extreme distaste to finally like growing and having a redemption for both the main characters and love interests, to them growing together. It was amazing. Amazing. Number 3, the suspense in the plot. Whoa, like I thought of course Sarah J. Maas could not do any better than she did with the Court of Thorns and Roses series, and she just, wow. I don't know where she pulled some of these plot twists from, some of these reveals from. It hooked me, and it made me almost feel dumb because I know there was foreshadowing moments leading towards this, but it's just, wow. Except for one, I did know that I felt like the way this character, so this is going to be spoiler, the way Micah covered up a chrysalis demon by incinerating it instead of letting somebody examine it to figure out who could be possibly summoning it, if they could trace it back with power, kind of put me on put him on my radar of, that's sus. As well as the big reveal at the end that really has made me mad about, kind of angry about Hunt to do that to Bryce. Not gonna give it away. This is one I'm not gonna give away, but wow. Just wow. And then of course, the 4th one, the boiling tension in this series. There is so much tension, whether it be trying to, having a deadline, trying to find where this fate artifact is, as well as the murders, and even between the love interests of this book. There's a lot of tension. A lot of tension. So, the dislikes. Now, these are just personal dislikes. It's not that I hated them. It's just, wow, I can see why it was an 800-page book. And it's just more of, I think it's just more of an emotional dislike, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't really dislike these, it's just it made me angry because I'm just impatient, if that makes sense. So too much tension, not enough action. And anybody who knows Sarah J. Maas's writing understands what I mean by too much tension, not enough action. There was a lot of people like me that was upset that there was not enough action in this book, but supposedly for the 2nd book, she amps up that said action a lot. So I'm happy. Hunt and Bryce towards the end, which is like Hunt's redemption of him just being on this goal, this warpath of rebellion, and to help the humans rebel. I'm kind of upset because I get it, but Bryce has already, the character, female character that we follow, has already had enough trauma and experience in the last 2 years, as well as how she's treated as a half fae, half human in Crescent City, that I feel that she should not have let Hunt back so soon. I would have made him work for it because, yikes, let's just say that. So in a way, his character needs a little bit of redemption in my eyes. Even though at the end, he's supposed to have this big character redemption and growth, but yikes, that's all I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed my short kind of review of House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. I do plan on reading the 2nd one. However, I don't know. As you can tell, I have sticky tabbed this one, but I don't know if I'm going to sticky tab that one. Just because it does take me quite a while to read big, thick books like this and sticky tab them, because I also write as I go of my emotional response to certain things, as well as certain passages and quotes I want to remember. So we will see. Plus, also, I need to get another paperback copy just because I do not want to mark up my first editions. So, but anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, and again, want to stick around for more, please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification. I hope everybody has a great first week back at work if you're working or school, and have a great week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!